And what we wanted to do, I'm going to mute everybody because I've got a little bit of feedback. And then I want you guys totally to just like unmute yourself, ask any question, use the chat, whatever. But we're just going to basically use this time to send some more invites and ask us, like pick our brains about, okay, somebody said this, how would I respond? I would also encourage you guys to reach out to your upline and say, hey, do you have any coaches that are kind of on the same level as me that I could be in a message pod with? I have a bunch of my coaches that signed from August and September, and some that were already Emerald that were kind of like on the same page, all in a chat, and they will just send us messages like, okay, got this, how would you guys respond? And then 3 people will say, I would say this, and they basically are like, that's perfect, I kind of just blended them all together and made it my own. I cannot say how helpful that is, just asking people. And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be like, oh my gosh, this is such a stupid question, I should know this by now. It's okay. I would rather spend, if a coach messages me in that pod, I don't like people messaging me individually because I'm like, let me make sure that other people can learn from this at the same time. But I'm going to just send a quick voice message, and then you can put it into your own words. If it takes me obviously less than 60 seconds to respond, and I would rather do that and help you move your business forward, then you sit there and be like, well, I don't know what to say back to that, so I'm just not going to respond. So use us. We're happy to help. We like knowing that you're out there starting conversations. But yeah, just reach out to your upline and kind of say, hey, can we have a message pod thread? And the other thing that's really great about those message threads is if you make a post and it's like crickets, you're like, hey guys, will you go show my last post some love because it's like ghost town over there. And then, sometimes with that, it's like the first time that you just need somebody to comment because people are like, oh, I don't want to be the first person to comment an emoji below when she asked, So I basically just will, say, oh my gosh, tell me send me the information. I don't care if I know I'm obviously doing the programs, but I'll do that because I want their friends to see that other people are interested. And yeah, Carly said, if your upline isn't working the business, just reach out to your upline diamond coach and we'll hook you up with something. So Carly and Katie, do you have anything before we get started with our, sorry, hear my daughter. Do you have anything to get started with before we do our powerhouse?
No, I don't think so. Sorry, I was muted for the first. I could hear my husband with baby upstairs in the monitor. It was like my ear. I was like stalking it, like, go to sleep, go to sleep.
You just said my husband's baby.
Husband and baby. My husband's baby. I'm not sure if it's mine. He came out of me.
Oh, that's awesome. Carly, anything you need to add?
So if you didn't watch my little live video today, I just want to reiterate that like Emerald is literally a choice, and like we believe in you guys, and we're honestly here to support and here to help. So don't be shy when it comes to asking questions. Don't be a Carly and sit for 2 months not doing anything and regret it. We're here for you to support you. And if you didn't watch that video, check it out. I tried to make it short and sweet.
Yeah, it was good. So, okay, here's how I usually get started is I will go through people that have liked or commented on my post the last week, as well as who has watched my story. One little thing I will tell you is I would love for you guys to start using polls in your stories. So you just swipe up when you're doing a story and you do a poll. It could be something so simple, and I don't just do like yes or no, like, do you want to join me? Yes or no? Because people want to know. I'm like, I just want to like block you, like go away, you're not fun. So I'm usually like, hey, could you use some motivation? And it's like, yes, help me. Or the other one is like, oh my gosh, I'm struggling so hardcore. Like it's like they're both the same answer. But I want to make sure that then I can just easily message people and be like, hey, I saw you replied to my poll today, and I just wanted to reach out and talk to you about what you're struggling with. And it could be something so simple, like I ran out of coffee creamer today, and I made a post about, oh my gosh, like, do you like what? I can't function. How do you do this? And I was like, do you drink coffee or and it was like, yes, I love my creamer. I'm so basic. Or no, I like black coffee. And something so simple like that, I reached out to like 15 people that responded, and I was like, oh, tell me what your favorite creamers to use. Like, so stupid. But I started a conversation, and then all I can do is say, so tell me about you. Are you on your own health and fitness journey? Because they're watching my stories, so they know I am as well. So it's not weird. So use that feature. I would honestly use that feature as much as you can with random things, because that's how I start most of my conversations.
I'll just add to that really quickly too. Another trick with stories that I've been talking about with a few of my coaches are, it's harder like in the beginning when you have like a smaller following. Obviously, like you're working to build that up, to get engagement, to get people to engage with you and talk with you and do things like polls and questions and stuff, compared to somebody that's like a larger following. But a trick that you can do that I started having a few of my girls do, and they're like, whoa, duh, like that makes so much sense, is the questions sticker that you can use where people ask you a question. I've had coaches say, well, I post that and nobody asked me a question. You can actually yourself type your own question on there. You can ask yourself your own question. It's anonymous. No one knows. So if it's something as silly as like typing on there, how do I join one of your groups? Then you can answer back live on your Instagram and say how you can join, one of your groups, or asking, what's that yellow drink you drink every morning? And then you can answer, what is the yellow drink in the morning you're drinking? It's just something so simple that just starts people seeing that other people are asking questions. So the next time you post, hey, ask me anything or ask me a question, they might be inclined to type something in that box. So if you're finding that you're having low engagement with something like questions, like April said, same thing as polls, that's something you can do as well.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. And Kristen says that she's back on it and signing her husband back up. Just make sure that he knows he's a coach in case Beachbody calls him. But that's awesome, Kristen. Let's see. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to set up, so it's 8:42, so now we've got like literally like 15 minutes. So let's just literally go for the invite for 15 minutes. I'm setting my timer and go to town, guys. And if you come across something and have questions, post. You can unmute yourself or you can ask us, whatever. But let's just try to get as many invites in as possible. And use the scripts that we posted today too if you need help. And put some music on.
Not working hard. Yeah, right. Picture that with a Kodak. Or better yet, go to Times Square, take a picture of me with a Kodak. Took my life from negative to positive. Just want to know that. Tonight, let's enjoy life. You, Nadia, Neo, that's right. I'm a mama, you tonight. Give me everything tonight. For all we know, you might not get tomorrow. Let's do it tonight.
Love that, Carly.
Princess, but tonight, making my queen play. Love you endless. Same way the name growing, money keep flowing. Hustle beside us, so I'm tiptoeing. So keep going, I got it locked up.
Before you guys get off too, we'll take a picture for a story. So don't get off.
Give me everything tonight. For all we know, you might not get tomorrow. It's that little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305, better said Mr. Worldwide, and you're listening to my music on Pandora. Hey, said our hustle's work is never through. We making it 'cause we making more. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. We making it 'cause we making more. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Some pressure that will be love. Ladies can't get enough. Like my fingers all looking love. All my people with my love.
Okay, so Mallory asked, do you guys add all challengers as discount coaches? If so, how do you present that as the best option? So basically for me, I just reach out to people and I'm like, hey girl, how are the shakes doing? Like, what's your favorite recipe so far? Ask them how they're liking it. Have you noticed any differences? So in the first couple weeks, I'm always kind of asking about the Shakeology, how they like it, what their favorite recipe is. And then I'm like, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, I noticed XYZ when I started drinking it. I'm so excited for you. Just so you know, you can actually get 25% on your order that's already coming out next month. Do you want to go ahead and get signed up to do that? And then you can just explain it after that. That's all I say. I really just am like, I'm so excited for you. What flavor? Here's a recipe I like. Give this a try. If Katie or Carly have anything else to add, but that's what I do.
I do the same thing with challengers, but I definitely do case by case based on the person and what's kind of going on in the Beachbody world, to be honest. So I've been using the coach test groups heavily to recruit. If I look back this year, I would say 90% of the coaches I have signed up because of getting into a coach test group. And explaining to them that it's coach only and that's how they get in there. So that's how I post on my social media, presenting them the opportunity. Hey, I have this opportunity. You can be in this test group. with me. I get to bring people along with me. And then once they're interested, I explain to them, hey, I know you're not a coach. And I posted this script in the group somewhere under the scripting thread. I know you're not a coach, but let me explain how you can. And I explained to them, you can either actually coach if you want, if that's something you're interested in, but if not, you can totally just sit back and utilize the discount. But that's the way that you get into the group. And then when they say they want more info and they're interested, that's when I send the options for sign up. As far as like right now promoting the Shift Shop test group, the different challenge packs that they can choose from to get signed up with that.
And I'll piggyback off of one thing. So I'm always honest and transparent. For me, I've always been really good at converting challengers to coaches, but I do love what Ashley Molstead and her coach Emily do when they sign up a discount coach. They tell them, okay, think of 3 girls that you work with, 3 of your best friends, family members, whoever, that would love to do this 21-day program with you, and let's get them in a group message thread. And then Ashley or me or whoever is the lead coach in that would talk to those girls on behalf of that new discount coach. So if you do sign up a discount coach, encourage them to think of 3 women, men, whatever, that would want to do this 21-day program with you, get them all in a message thread, and then you be that voice for that new coach too. I feel like that's like so simple and so easy for us to do. And I look forward to implementing that and seeing how it works.
And it does work too, because like once you show them the community, I used to give the option. I'll say, you know, things change, times change, you change things in your business. I used to tell people like, hey, do you want to be added to my team page just to be a fly on the wall? But I don't even give them the option now. Like if they sign up as a coach or a discount coach, even if they're telling me it's strictly for the discount, they're getting welcomed into my team page and just saying, hey, team, just wanted to welcome Carly. She's going to be jumping in with the Proving Grounds test group with me. So excited. I'm not saying she's here to coach, she's here to grow a business, she's here to rock this business. I'm just welcoming simply like that. And then in my welcome email, when I'm sending them, at the very top, it says, you know, welcome to my team name. And then it says right underneath it, if you signed up for the discount, just discount this message and keep it in case you change your mind. If you read that, what are you going to do? You're probably going to keep scrolling. You're not just going to be like, okay, I'll just read this in 6 months if I decide. So it's showing them, wow, like look at this laid out email. She's emailing me from day one. Like maybe this is something that I could do. Like maybe I should join this group that says Coach Basics, you know, and it gets people's wheels turning.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I did have a question though. So you mentioned the test groups. So I really like that idea, but my next problem is that I'm doing Lift 4 and I'm only on week 2. So I don't really know how to use that as an example if I'm not doing it too. Does that make sense, or is that stupid?
So I will say in the future, I personally think just business-wise, it is a good idea to be doing a product or the program at launch. So I kind of work my schedule around what's happening. I always want to be like, what's going on? That's what I'm doing. But it has happened where like the weeks don't match up or whatever the case may be. But you could still have people doing it. You could still say that the opportunity's there and that it's going to be the next program that you are personally doing, or explaining to them that, hey, they're going to be in the test group, but you also have this other group on the side where all of your challengers are doing different programs, which is kind of what I always have going on, where I'm explaining like, we're all not doing the same program. I'm personally doing Lift 4, but all these, you know, there's other girls in there. Some of them are doing 21-day fix. Some of them are doing Shift Shop, you know, whatever, is explaining that there's a variety. So I wouldn't let that hold you back from promoting it and talking about it with people as an option, because, you know, they can do it with or without you.
Thank you.
Love that. I'm sending this message to like 3 coaches that signed up this month. Hey, what 3 coaches or what 3 people can you put in a message thread? I love that. Also, one other thing is if there's like a message that you like for people that are watching your stories where you're kind of just like, thanks for watching my stories or whatever you put together, something short, you can do a text replacement where literally you write like one word in a shortcut and you can type that and then the entire thing you could save, like that little blurb that you write will pop up. So we can talk about that more in the group, but I've been doing that because you can't like copy and paste too many messages because you could get kicked off from Instagram. Chelsea, are you saying thank you for watching the stories?
I just typically say something along the lines of, thanks so much for following my shenanigans. You know, my goal of my account is to help and inspire women. I hope I'm doing that for you. And then it opens the door for them to be like, oh my God, yes. And then I'm like, join us now.
Love that.
I wish Instagram would get the voice record like Facebook, because I use the Facebook one all day long.
I think that like literally every day.
Katie, have you ever done videos to people?
Girl, you know how awkward I am.
I know it's awkward, but I've had people be like, I really appreciate the way you invited me. It was so different from everyone else out there. I'm like,
Katie, you're
so
amazing
awkward.
on video. You better do it.
Videos, calls, Like my sister, Erica, is so good. She will she'll be like, hey girl, like, can I call you real quick? And she could sign up a coach in like 5 minutes by getting them on the phone. But I'm so awkward.
I did that. You know what? It's crazy to think about how different we run our business now. And I probably just need to get back to that. I was probably making like 15 phone calls a week. I mean, I do love Facebook Messenger, but
I like phone calls.
Yeah.
Kelsey, will you type up that blurb and whatever you just said? I was not quick enough with my hands in our group or something and paste it because that's a good one.
With my hands. All right. So our timer has gone up. If you are like in the zone and still sending messages, keep going. But I would rather see if there's any. Where is my Pandora? I tried to shut you off.
Yeah, April, one thing I want to say is like sharing is caring. If there is something that's working for you, like even being a coach for almost 5 years, you guys see I post and beat Nick every time I post in my team page. I've always made it a habit to show up. And so like if you're doing something that's working, share it. Hop in the Emerald group, go live. Like we're all about that sharing life. So that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, and you can use, we're going to run this group weekly for people pushing, or bi-weekly for people pushing to Emerald. So what you can do is you can just get other people coaches added in there too, and that could be like the place where they're like, hey, this is the conversation I'm having, how would you respond? And if you just want to use the group for that solely, like that's totally cool. But yeah, so just know that the other thing is too, is like we're running this group, we're willing to do that and like offer our time. So don't stress so much about thinking like, oh my gosh, I couldn't sign somebody up as a coach. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't even coach somebody, because we have so many systems in place. You can plug them into our trainings. You can plug them into this. Don't focus like I can't sign coaches because I don't know what I'm doing. We will gladly help you do that. You're getting promoted. You're giving us promotions. You're helping us. We will help you with that. So.
And we, even like us coming to a group like this, like we still look at it as like when I'm going into like building, say a different account or something, like where I need to build it to Emerald, or I need to build like my husband's account, say to Diamond or something, like think of it just like if any of you are doing 2B mindset, like how it's 2 pounds at a time, 2 coaches at a time, you know? So Emerald is 2 coaches at a time. And then if you're looking at the next goal, your next goal is Ruby or Diamond, you just keep 2 more coaches. I'm just going to go Emerald again and again. And that's really, like, if you look at it in the long run and the long-term vision that you have for this business, Emerald is, you're going to look back and be like, that was just such a little stepping stone. It was a decision I made to get this business started and moving, and you're just going to go Emerald 100 more times after that. So it really is just a small stepping stone. like Chelsea just said, don't overcomplicate it. It really is simple.
Yeah, I've really been just trying to. My goal is just to hit Emerald every week because I really want to get back to like building my team. I lost so much of my team in 2017 that this is like a total, like the last year has been total like rebuild. So my goal is just to get to Emerald every week because it's a numbers game, guys. I would love to say the first 5 coaches you recruit are going to be 5-star diamond coaches and you're going to run in this business. But that just isn't the case. So a podcast I would also suggest, I think it's great when you guys are doing personal development, like Girl Wash Your Face. I love Rachel Hollis. I listen to every single one of her live videos every day while I'm doing laundry or something like that. Absolutely love her. But I really think that it's still so important to do some type of business building personal development. So I would, if anybody has business building personal development, can you write it in the chat so that we can share that? My favorite is your virtual upline, Bob Healig. It is so good. And I want to say it was like episode 85, but I may be making that up. And he talks about building wide and building deep. And so find that episode and listen to it. So many good nuggets in that call. Yay, Amy. That's exciting. And that's just how it works. So we don't ever want to discount coaches because you may sign up as a discount, but that's not always the case. My sister's a diamond coach. She's signed up as a discount coach. She's lost 111 pounds. You know, like you can't just think that, you know, oh, and so what I do in my team page, and I can actually share it. I took it from another elite coach. Do you guys have that path 1, path 2, path 3 graphic? Have you seen that?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'll share that with you. So what I do is I have 2 team pages. I've got a Beautifully Made and a Beautifully Made family. So my Beautifully Made is where everybody goes regardless. I do the same thing Katie does where I introduce everybody. And then I have in my pinned post, I have tell me what path you're on. Path 1 is a discount coach. Path 2 is a hobby coach. Path 3 is a business builder. I usually have people say path 1, maybe path 2 later. So it kind of plants that seed. Or I'll have people, if they're path 2 or path 3, I can't talk. I put them in my Beautifully Made family, which is where my trainings are. That's where my new coach training is. That's where I post all my trainings, my tips, and everything like that. So if you're just getting started, that may be something that you want to implement because that's been working really great. I went away with my new coach training and coach basics, and I put it in the unit section right there in my team page so that I'm not adding them to a million groups, and that's been working really great. But that path 1, path 2, path 3 plants that seed that, okay, path 1 for now, but this path 2 sounds really great. So I'll share that with you. Wait, Carly, did you already leave? Did she already leave?
I think she had another call to hop on.
Okay, well, I took a video while she was still on here, but let's take a picture so that and I'll share it in the group and we can all put it on your stories. Every time you're doing some type of call, I always take a picture and I'm like, so Jessica in this 919, if you want to show your face, you can. If you're free, that's cool. No big deal. But I'm always putting them into my stories so that people can see like, oh, you know, for me, Thursday nights are my team call nights. I love them and I talk them up. So, okay, I don't think Jessica's coming. So trying not to get all my background. All right, 3, 2, 1. And then I'll post this in the group. But just make sure that you guys do a really great job of using your stories to do other parts. People don't want to just follow you to be a Beachbody coach. So be yourself, figure out your target market, post to that, show up every day, and don't try to be too perfect. Like people don't want polished coaches. People want, you know, I made a post today about talking how cherry Coke was a pregnancy craving that I could never kick. And I still let myself have one once a week. And I don't feel bad. Like people want to know that they don't have to be perfect to be a coach. And I can't tell you enough how, as long as you are, the biggest thing you're doing is focusing on not being perfect, people will join you more. Chelsea, is that your personal development? The confidence, my women, or are you just?
That's my 2 cents. Like speak with confidence, because whether you're behind text or video, people can feel it. And if you're not talking about this like you wholeheartedly believe in it, they're gonna think you're trying to sell them, and no, you're giving them an opportunity to change their life. So you got to be confident. You have to.
Love it. Anything else to add, Katie?
I don't think so. I just, to add to what you just said quickly, I read somewhere in some of the 100 pages on Facebook, somebody said this week, if you eliminated all of your coach posts or your Beachbody posts from your page right now, what would be left on it? And that's really what you need to look at your page as, because if there would be nothing on that, then you need to start diversifying your posting and let people learn about you. Storytelling, like I know that was spoken highly of at Leadership this year. You got to tell your story and let people into your world, so they can really connect with you and relate to you. And like April said, if you follow my social media, I am like an open book. Like last week I was talking about how I've never been on birth control, and we've used pull and pray as our method of birth control. And like, I just don't care. Like I talk about anything on social media so people can know the real me. If you'd walk up to me on the street and talk to me, even though I'm so awkward and introverted, I would still be the same person that I'm recording myself on stories. So many times I've seen people, not even coaches, just random people on stories, and they're talking, and I'm like, girl, loosen up, like loosen your body. Like I can just tell that they're just like nervous, like speaking for 15 seconds. So just be yourself, And I love stories.
Me too. And the other thing too is, I actually just kind of went on a rampage this with my stories today, was that I just think that it's so important to not focus so much on being like Insta famous and wanting to have like this perfect Instagram that's like all the same filter and all beautiful grays and things like that. Like just get your shit on there and like find your tribe. Like do not worry about being perfect, because
I read a meme today that said being famous on Instagram is like having Monopoly money. Like it's not real. So no one cares.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I get so up in my head, I'm like, oh, this picture's ugly. And I'm like, April, just freaking do it so you can get off and go be with your family. Like, I would rather just have it and done. I mean, Bonnie Engel talks on this all the time, where she doesn't filter her stuff half the time. She like doesn't check punctuation, like, and that's real. And that's to somebody I can relate to, where I'm the voice texter that is like, close enough. Like, I don't care. So, just get out of your own way. Don't compare yourself to like, oh, I need to be Melanie Mitro. No, you need to be yourself right now, right here, and find your own tribe, not, pretending to be anybody else. So, all right. I think I stopped the nope, just kidding.